Evening. It's come to that inevitable time in any home beer for the obligatory comedy sets. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to hear somebody play a banjo, which is fairly terrible. So, I'll just introduce him, shall I? Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Mr. Mark Singleton.
I've written a monkey book. I've realised that it's not very fashionable for women to read pornography. They don't like it anymore, as long as it's under the guise of an erotic novel, preferably where the main male in it is a bit of an arsehole. So here we go. See what you think. It's called 5,550 Shades of Brown. As he held her tight, she felt the unmistakable spread of wetness as his Stella Artois spilled down her back. The embrace seemed to last forever, until she realised that he was so overcome with passion, he'd fallen asleep. However, she knew that when he awoke, he would utter those immortal words, the words she'd longed to hear since 2 weeks previously, when he fingered about the bins outside Mario's Pizza. After a nudge in the ribs, he awoke and said, what the fuck? Oh, that's nice. George Arson mood. Anyway, if I'm allowed to continue. On gaining his composure, he grinned her a beer-flavoured grin and said in a voice as sweet as blue wicked, "Why don't you drop them jeans, love, and turn round? And if you're half as good at this as I am, you'll be walking like John Wayne till after Christmas." I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to make millions. I need to do something though, because I need a job. I've recently lost mine. I was working for the council, and well, it's a misunderstanding really. I was put in charge of a project to erect a fitting tribute to a former council member. Fortunately, I misheard them. I erected a fisting tribute to a former council member. Still, the statue's there. You ought to go and see it. It really does bring a tear to your eye. Not quite as much as the act that it's depicting. I have sort of got a new job, and this will come as a surprise to the people that don't know me, and even more as a surprise to the people that do. But I've actually joined the SES. Yeah, and by this, I obviously don't mean the Special Air Service. I am talking, of course, of Spectre and Son. It's not difficult acting in a sitcom that was cancelled years ago, and where both main characters are dead, but you ought to watch it. I played the black one. I'm really, really bad at it. It's quite embarrassing how bad I am, but I'm no stranger to embarrassment, as you can probably figure. But, yeah. Well, a very embarrassing moment recently. You know when you go into a chemist, you're buying something and just overacts with embarrassment. By the time I got to the counter buying these paracetamol, so embarrassed I ended up coming out with 12 packs of condoms and a tube of aerosol. Also the other week, very embarrassed, I was caught staring at the condom machine in a pub. You know, I wasn't going to buy any for the same reason that blind men don't buy contact lenses. But I wanted to see if anything had changed, and as it turns out it has. These things no longer sell condoms. You could buy a herbal Viagra, tiny little vibrators. I don't know why, I presume it's in case the Viagra doesn't work. Then they had my favourite item. It was the vibrating cock ring. I thought, oh, hey up. Let's have a look at this. It said, stimulating pleasure for him and for her. I thought that's good, innit? Because we all like a bit of equality in our sex toys. Then the next thing it said, I thought should be a bit of a given. It said, waterproof. Really? Great. I mean, I know it's been a while since I last had sex, but I seem to remember it's quite a moist occasion. At least it definitely is when I'm doing it. Then it said my favourite thing, it said battery lasts for up to 40 minutes. I thought, oh, that's great, isn't it? Because you buy a pack of condoms, you only get 2. You can use this 20 times. Well, that was it. It's like talking about to go to the GP. So they discussed their embarrassing problem within the privacy of national television. There was someone on there the other day. They were very nervous, and they said, they were in bits. He said, I want to know if this is normal. You see, my vaginal lips are very long. And the doctor said, well, in most cases, I'd say this is perfectly normal. But in your case, Mr. Jones, I think we'd best look into it. Anyway, I'd just like to give a warning to everyone. Never go on Amazon when you're drunk. Because if you do, stuff like this happens. I've got it now. I've taught myself a few chords. I haven't taught myself to tune it, but... Oh yeah, that's nasty. But I thought, to play a song on this, I've got to invent myself a hillbilly persona, so give me this. There you go! What y'all doing at my back? Me and my girl, we share everything. We share a house, we share money, we share secrets. Hell, we even share parents. And this is a song about her. When the time came to choose a lover, I chose one with the same father and mother. She's my sister and her name is Betty Lee. She looks a lot like me. I don't know, but I've been told other girlies look like mold. My sister's fine and fun to hold. She keeps me warm when I feel cold. Tuesdays, well, we pan for gold. We share the bed since 5 years old, and she looks a lot like me. I've got more. At least I think I have. We didn't really see the harm until the birth of our son Charles. His mother's looks and father's charm. 2 healthy legs and 4 healthy arms. He's got the solid old back that carved right through a tree, and he looks a lot like me. I don't know, but I've been told other girlies look like mold. My sister's fine and fun to hold. She keeps me warm when I feel cold. Tuesdays, well, we pan for gold. Share the bed since 5 years old. She looks a lot like me. Well, I caught my sister in my bed with my pa and Uncle Fred. I didn't shout or make a din. Just dropped my slacks and jumped right in. My father is a family man, as everyone can see, and he looks a bit like me. Well, I don't know, but I've been told other girls look like gold. My sister's fine and comfortable, keeps me warm when I feel cold. Tuesdays, well, we pan for gold. We share the bed since 5 years old, and she looks a lot like me. Over, it's me again now. I know the transformation is faultless. I'd just like to leave you with a very profound quote. I think it's Plato that said, "Grant unto me a really long and really pointy stick, that I might pick the noses of massive statues." Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's the name of Mr. Lord Singleton? I did warn you about the banjos, which you don't want to state. Before we bring on the next act, I'm going to have a bit of a whinge, actually. Because I like a bit of whinge. As those of you know me, know I actually fucking loves a good whinge. I was recently 30, and no, it's worse than that. We went on holiday to celebrate my 30th birthday, and I realised I can't drink anymore, and I now have the ability to shit through a 15-micron filter.
We noticed.
It's not only that, I'm just generally feeling worse than I did 3 weeks ago, which is stupid because it's only 3 weeks ago, you know. But I shall take it to last night when I managed to get it at 5 o'clock this morning. That's not before violently ejecting beer, and I was literally ejecting it. There was no force involved on my part, it literally fell out of me. So I just can't drink anymore, so I'm going to stop. After this one, I promise, honestly, I'll go on the wagon and everything, man. I'll go to 12 steps, whatever, man. Just more beer. Anyway, I'd like to introduce our next comedian. His name's really rather familiar to the last one, but it's not exactly the same. Sorry, I'm terribly drunk. Could you please welcome to the stage, Mr. Ian Singleton?
I'm not going to be sitting on this. I've got notes. So, yeah, thank you. Very kind of you. Thanks for coming out as well, because it's for charity, you know, it's important we support charities. And in fact, just before I left the house today to come down here, I saw a charity appeal on behalf of Water Aid, and I thought, I'm not giving them any money. That pop sounds shit. But it's nice to see people here. It's nice to see friends out there as well in the audience. You know, support's very important for me as well. And some of you will know this, but I did my very first comedy performance on this stage right here. Thank you. That's the kind of support I'm talking about. What? Sorry about that. More trouble than it's worth, Mark. But yeah, I did my first gig here, and I had a lot of support that night as well from friends and family. In fact, even my mum came down, and it was a pretty good gig. You know, it went quite well. There were a few problems with timing and nerves, and the biggest problem I had that night was microphone technique. You see, I wasn't holding the microphone close enough to my mouth, so people at the back of the audience couldn't hear me properly. And my mum tried to point this out to me, but she couldn't just shout out, because I was in the middle of my set. And there's nothing more nerve-wracking, there's nothing more off-putting than looking over at that special section of the crowd where your friends and family are gathered to give you support and seeing your mum doing this. It's oh, but friends and family are weird like that, aren't they? Well, mine are. So I can't really mention my mum without mentioning my dad as well. My dad was one of these people who he started sentences with I'm not racist, but, and then you just know that as soon as somebody says that, the next words in life are going to be something incredibly offensive. It's like he once told me, I'm not racist, but I'd make them all swim home. I didn't bother asking who. I had a pretty good idea as it was. No, it wasn't